Luther King Jr. A man of many words, a man of passion, and a man with great purpose. He lived his life encouraging people to carve out a place in this diverse world. He did his work through his ministry as a civil rights activist, and most of all, he tackled various issues that affected many communities and our nation as a whole. We can continue to value his work by answering these simple questions. Where is the future? The future is right here. Whose life is this? It's mine. And what are you going to do with it? And I'm going to live it by any means necessary. I would like to share with you one of Dr. King's most notable speeches that has touched me. Today, I will present to you Dr. King's final speech, I've Been to the Mountains.
Come on. All right.
You know, several years ago, I was in New York City, autographing the first book that I had written. And while sitting there autographing books, a demented black woman came up. And the only question I heard from her was, "Are you Martin Luther King?" And I was looking down writing, and I said yes. And the next minute, I felt something beating on my chest. Before I knew it, I had been stabbed by this demented woman. I was rushed to Harlem Hospital. It was a dark Saturday afternoon, and that blade had gone through. And the x-rays revealed that the tip of the blade was on the edge of my aorta, the main artery. And once that is punctured, you're drowned in your own blood, and that's the end of you. It came out in the New York Times the next morning that if I had merely sneezed, I would have died. Well, about 4 days later, they allowed me after the operation, after my chest had been opened, and the blade had been taken out, to move around in the wheelchair in the hospital. They allowed me to read some of the mail that came in. And from all over the states of the world and the world, kind letters came in. I read a few, but one of them I will never forget. I received one from the president and the vice president, but I forgot what those telegrams said. I received a visit and letter from the governor of New York, but I forgot what that letter said. But there was another letter that came from a little girl, a young girl who was a student at the White Plains High School. And I looked at that letter, and I'll never forget it. It said simply, "Dear Dr. King, I am a 9th grade student at the White Plains High School." And she said, "While it should not matter, I would like to mention that I am a white girl. I read in the paper of your misfortune and of your suffering, and I read that if you had sneezed, you would have died. And I'm simply writing to you to say that I am so happy that you didn't sneeze. And I want to say tonight that I too am happy that I didn't sneeze. Because if I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been around in 1960 when students all over the South started sitting in at lunch counters. And I knew that as they were sitting in, they were really standing up for the best in the American dream and taking the whole nation back to those great wells of democracy, which were dug deep by the founding fathers independence and the Constitution. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1961 when we decided to take a ride for freedom and ended segregation and interstate travel. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1962 when Negroes in Albany, Georgia decided to straighten their backs up. And whenever a men and women straighten their backs up, they are going somewhere. Because a man can't ride your back unless it is bent. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been here in 1963 when black people of Birmingham, Alabama aroused the conscience of this nation and brought into being the Civil Rights Bill. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have had a chance to later that year in August to try and tell America about a dream that I had had. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been down in Selma, Alabama to see the great movement there. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been in Memphis to see a community rally around those brothers and sisters who are suffering. I'm so happy that I didn't sneeze. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter to me now because I've been to the mountaintop. And I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I might not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. And so I'm